It's 10:47 p.m. You're lying in bed, lights off, but your eyes are still open. Your body feels tired, but your mind keeps running small loops. A conversation from earlier. A task you didn't finish. A decision that didn't feel fully settled. Nothing dramatic happened today. So why does it feel like you can't turn your own thoughts down? What you may be experiencing is feeling stuck in your head, a kind of mental fatigue that doesn't look busy from the outside, but feels crowded on the inside. In this video, we'll slow it down and look at why this happens, why rest feels out of reach, and what might make the noise soften just a little. Feeling stuck in your head is when your mind keeps circling the same thoughts, even after the moment has passed, and your body never quite gets the signal that it's safe to settle. It's not loud panic. It's more like low-level processing that never fully closes its tabs. One common reason is that your mind has learned to treat thinking as a form of control. When something feels uncertain, a text that hasn't been answered, a plan that's still vague, your brain keeps working on it as if more thought will create more safety. It can seem responsible at first. You replay, review, adjust. But over time, thinking becomes the default response to discomfort. So even when you're lying still in the dark, your mind keeps trying to solve things that don't actually need solving. Sometimes, it comes from spending too much time in your head and not enough time in your body. Work, screens, planning, analyzing, they all pull you upward into thought. If most of your day is spent anticipating, responding, or evaluating, your nervous system may never get a clear shift into rest. You finish your tasks, but your mind doesn't get the message that the shift is over. So you sit on the couch, technically done for the day, yet still mentally braced like something is about to happen. There's also a quieter reason that often sits underneath, a habit of self-monitoring. Maybe you learned, at some point, that being careful kept things smoother. You double-check your tone. You watch how you come across. You anticipate reactions before they happen. Over time, that carefulness can turn inward. Instead of just noticing your thoughts, you start evaluating them. Instead of resting, you assess. So even silence feels like a place where something might be missed. It's late afternoon, around 4:30, and you're sitting at your desk. You finished a project and sent it off. There's nothing urgent left. You could take a short break. Instead, you open your email again. You scan for anything you might have overlooked. You reread your message. Your shoulders feel tight, but you tell yourself you're just being thorough. Then later that night, you're still replaying it. Did I phrase that clearly? Did I sound too direct? Should I have added one more line? If you've been there, you're not strange. You might know someone who lives like this. This is what mental fatigue can look like when it hides inside productivity. You appear responsible. You appear thoughtful. But inside, your mind rarely powers down. It just moves from one evaluation to the next. When your mind gets used to constant scanning, rest can start to feel unfamiliar. Quiet doesn't feel restful. It feels exposed. If nothing is actively happening, your brain looks for something to prepare for. That's why even small things, like waiting for a reply, can stretch across hours in your head. It can help to gently separate thinking from checking. When you notice yourself looping, try naming what category it falls into. Is this something I can act on right now, or is this just review? If it's review, see if you can set a small boundary around it. Maybe one more read through, and then a pause. Not to force your mind silent, but to show it that you've handled what can be handled. This works because your brain often keeps going when it feels unfinished. A small, clear endpoint can signal closure, even if the situation itself is still open. Another quiet shift is bringing your attention back to something physical, especially at the end of the day. It doesn't have to be dramatic. Washing a cup slowly. Stretching your hands. Stepping outside for 5 minutes and noticing the air. When your body gets included, your mind doesn't have to carry the entire load. You're not trying to erase thoughts. You're widening the frame so they're not the only thing happening. Over time, that physical anchor can remind your system that thinking isn't the only way to feel safe. But there's one detail people often miss, and it changes how this feels. Being stuck in your head is often a sign that you care. You care about doing things well. You care about how you come across. You care about outcomes. The problem isn't caring. It's when caring turns into constant mental rehearsal. Mental fatigue builds quietly. It doesn't crash in like exhaustion from a long run. It layers itself across small moments, the extra check, the extra replay, the extra evaluation. By the end of the week, you feel worn down, even if nothing dramatic happened. This is for people who look fine from the outside but feel busy on the inside. The ones who can't quite rest, even when there's time. The ones who lie in bed and feel their minds still sorting, still arranging, still preparing for a tomorrow that hasn't arrived. You're not broken for feeling stuck in your head. It may simply mean your mind learned that staying alert kept things steady. That habit can soften, slowly, when you notice it without turning it into another thing to solve. Rest might not begin with silence. It might begin with a small moment of closure. A finished thought. A simple physical pause. A quiet decision to stop checking for a while. And sometimes, understanding why your mind won't rest is the first moment it begins to.